Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's Italian grammar lesson. What are we talking about today? We're talking about the verb sapere. This verb is one of the most common verbs in Italian and it has different meanings depending on how you use it. I would like to break it down, go over examples, and practice together. The verb sapere generally means to know, but it can be used in different ways depending on the context. I want to focus on the first main use of sapere, actually the first two main uses. The first one is sapere as to know a fact or information. So when you use sapere to mean that you know a fact or a specific information. In this case, it's usually followed by a noun, a question word, or a statement. Let's look at an example. Let's look at this sentence. So la risposta. I know the answer. Or, sai dove si trova il museo? Do you know where the museum is? Or, lui sa che oggi è il tuo compleanno. He knows that today is your birthday. Notice that in these cases, sapere is used like to know in English when you're talking about knowing a fact or an information. Let's create a sentence of our own to remember the use. For example, so che la bimba bionda si chiama Anna. Non so dove si trova la banca. Remember to create sentences. It's a good practice. Write them in the comments. You can also use sapere with the idea of to know how to do something, so with the idea of an ability, okay? In this case, sapere is followed by a verb in the infinitive, okay? The basic form of the verb. I'll give you an example. So cucinare, which means I know how to cook. If I ask a question, sai nuotare? Do you know how to swim? Non sa guidare. She doesn't know how to drive. If you notice, there is the verb conjugated, and then afterwards you have the verb in the infinitive form. Cucinare, nuotare, guidare. Okay? Once again, practice makes perfect. Write a simple sentence. If you want to, you can put it in the comments. For example, so sciare, non so cantare. Okay, that's me. So sciare, I can ski. Non so cantare, I can't sing. Write something that makes sense for you so that you, let's say, memorize correctly the meaning. But I told you that we can have other meanings of sapere. Sapere can also be used in some expressions and in some, let's say, specific situations. I will show you a couple of extra uses. You can have sapere di, and this means to taste like or smell like. Be careful because you're going to use sapere di, so you need a little di right after. Let's look at some examples together. Questa pizza sa di aglio. This pizza tastes like garlic. Il caffè sa di bruciato. The coffee tastes burnt. Okay, so in this case, you're talking about what it tastes like, or also if it smells burnt, because coffee could also, yeah, you could probably smell it too. Sa di bruciato, you're also focusing on smelling something. But you can also use sapere followed by se, che, come. Se, if, che, that, come, how. And in this case, it indicates knowing some kind of information. For example, sai se arriva oggi? Do you know if she's arriving today? So che è tardi? I know it's late. Non sanno come funziona. They don't know how it works. So once again, you're talking about knowing something, but it's knowing an information of some kind. Since we're talking about a verb, I think it's natural for me as a teacher Also, to quickly go over how the verb is conjugated in the present tense. Also, because the verb is an irregular verb, and I think it's important that you know how to conjugate it correctly so that you can write correctly sentences in the comments below. So let's go through it. Sapere. Io so. Tu sai. Lui, lei sa. Noi sappiamo. Voi sapete. Loro sanno. Practice chanting it, using it correctly. Chant the conjugation, make it yours. This is the present tense, but it's an irregular verb, so make sure you master it. Now, I will say a sentence in English, and you have to try to say it in Italian using sapere. I will give you some seconds to think about it and to write it down, and you can find the answers in the PDF that you can download for free. You can click on the link below, or if you're already subscribed to my newsletter, you're already receiving it for free. Probably you already have it in your inbox, okay? So let's do this little exercise and remember to check also the answers. So how would you translate? I know how to dance. She knows the answer. Do you know where the school is? Try to translate those and let me know in the comments if you got them right. All right, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and I will see you next week. Un bacione, ciao!